Right, let's start with Man United. Weghorst, where's this deal now? Is a medical possible later this week?
About the timing, we have to see because it doesn't depend on Manchester United. It just depends on Besiktas in this moment. Man United did everything they had to do because, from what I'm told, they have an agreement with Besiktas for 3 million euros, around 3 million euros to terminate the loan deal from Barley. They have an agreement with Barley on the loan deal until the end of the season for Weghorst. They have an agreement with the player who immediately accepted to join Manchester United. Super excited about that possibility. Also had a conversation with Erik ten Hag. So everything is almost ready. Now it's on Besiktas because they have to find a replacement for Weghorst. They want to be respected in this story. They are really interested in Vincent Aboubakar from Al Nassr. We know that also for Al Nassr could make sense this deal because they need to find some space for Cristiano Ronaldo to register Cristiano Ronaldo. So it's kind of domino. Man United are waiting, but for sure everything is almost ready for Weghorst. So now it's on Besiktas, but Besiktas, when they completed the agreement, have been really strong and clear in the message saying we will only sign this deal if we find the right replacement.
Yeah, obviously Weghorst and João Felix, very different profiles of player. Is there a chance that Man United do look for another attacker, or is Weghorst maybe going to be the final one in?
I think it's unlikely. At the moment, it's unlikely, and while we're speaking, they're not negotiating for any other player in that position. Also because they have to decide what they want to do with Elanga, who is one of the players appreciated by Everton. Also, Facundo Pellistri did very well in the last game, and also for him, there are some clubs around the world, not just in Europe, interested in a potential loan deal. But Man United at the moment are not that convinced to let him go. So at the moment, there are no negotiations for other strikers, and I think João Felix was one of the opportunities, but with different skills. They were thinking of Gakpo, then João Felix, then Weghorst. So they considered many different kind of strikers, but now Weghorst is the favorite one.
Yeah, and what about this right back position? Is there a chance something happens there? Because obviously we've seen Wan-Bissaka playing a little bit more recently, haven't we?
Yes, I think now Wan-Bissaka has been very good to change the situation. It was not easy because the first part of the season was really complicated. Now Erik ten Hag is happy with his performances, but I'm told there is still a chance for him to leave in case Man United will receive a good proposal. The situation is considered open. So Crystal Palace and Wolves in the last weeks have asked about him. Also West Ham in December, but with West Ham now is more quiet. Palace and Wolves are really interested in Wan-Bissaka. So let's see how the conversation with the player and with Man United will go. For sure, if Wan-Bissaka leaves, Man United will have a chance to bring in a new right back. I don't expect, from what I'm told, a big name. So not players like Dumfries, not players like I don't know, Frimpong, because of the money, because these players are really expensive. So I think it could be a kind of opportunity on the market, not a big name. Also because they want to extend the contract of Diogo Dalot.
Yeah, in terms of a new striker as well, looking ahead to the summer, maybe are they going to look at the likes of Osimhen, Sesko, Harry Kane, these sorts of players?
They will go for a striker because they already wanted Darwin Nunes last summer, and then he joined Liverpool. So we know how complicated it was for Man United to manage this striker situation in the summer. Now in January, because of the Glazers' decision to put the club for sale, was complicated to go for a big name. I expect them to go for an important name in the summer, but at the moment, honestly, it's really complicated to mention who's going to be, also because there will be probably new owners. Let's see what happens with the board, and so who will be in charge of transfers and all the decisions. And so at the moment, it's really too early. There are no negotiations. I also see many names, Vlahovic, Sesko, Kane, but at the moment, nothing is concrete or advanced at all.
Yeah, obviously also being linked to Mohamed Kudus, Axel Disasi. Again, are these players maybe they're monitoring ahead of the summer?
At the moment, I think is something that they are not, from what I'm told, they are not negotiating. I also saw some rumors for January, but after giving Ajax 64 million for Lisandro Martinez and 100 million for Anthony, to go there again and sign one more player after signing two players and the manager would be really surprising to me, honestly. So at the moment, I'm told that there are no negotiations. I think we have these rumors because Man United scouts, as many others from Premier League, because really 4 or 5 clubs of Premier League have sent their scouts to follow Mohamed Kudus at the World Cup with Ajax. So he's an interesting player, appreciated by many clubs, but at the moment it's not anything concrete while we're speaking.
Yeah, and just updates on the contracts for Diego Dalot and Rashford at the moment.
Yes, they're in conversations. For Diogo Dalot, they already had some meetings with his agents. For Marcus Rashford, they are speaking to the family of Rashford. They represent the player. And so they are making sure they know how important is Marcus, because they know about the interest of Paris Saint-Germain. They tried last summer. They've always been interested. Also, the president Nasser Al-Khelaifi a few weeks ago during the World Cup was speaking highly of Marcus Rashford, so they really appreciate him. But for Erik ten Hag, it's a total priority to keep Marcus Rashford. He considers him a key player for present and future, and so there will be negotiations. And for Diogo Dalot, I think he's been very honest in saying that he loves the club. It's the reality. He would love to continue at Man United. Now it depends on the financial proposal, but also in this case, Man United want to be fast with Dalot and fast with Rashford.
Yeah, let's move on to Arsenal. Obviously, Mudryk. Are we any closer to this deal now?
Honestly, I see this kind of rumor every single day, and so I don't want to kill the dreams of Arsenal fans. Absolutely, also because Arsenal are in negotiation for Mudryk. But while we're speaking, it's not something that is at the final stages. We can't say that it's almost done. At the moment, no, they are in negotiation for sure. Arsenal are speaking to Shakhtar since long time. They are discussing, but Shakhtar have been very clear with Arsenal and with Chelsea. They asked for 100 millions even in the last few days. So now they are trying to find a way, Arsenal, to have a different kind of negotiation on the numbers, also with some bonuses, also maybe with some percentage. They're trying to find a way to give Shakhtar what they want, but also to give the player what he wants, because Mudryk wants Arsenal. Mudryk is obsessed with Arsenal move, and this is why Arsenal are confident. We can confirm that Arsenal are confident, are optimistic. They feel they can sign the player before the end of the window, but at the moment is not close to being completed yet with Shakhtar. What is important to say is that it's not kind of slow negotiation in the sense that they make official bids and Shakhtar answer. They are in direct contact, Arsenal and Shakhtar, every single day. They are speaking every single day. So this is why Arsenal are confident, but then there will be a moment where they have to decide what they want to do.
Yeah, of course. They were also linked with João Felix, weren't they? Is there a chance they look for another attacker, or again, maybe was it just an opportunity that was there?
Honestly, when we had the rumors of both João Felix and Mudryk for Arsenal, I've always been told on Arsenal side, our priority is Mykhailo Mudryk. João Felix is an opportunity, but at the right conditions, not paying that money. So if Atletico will change the conditions, we could be open to speak. But Arsenal obsession has always been Mykhailo Mudryk, more than any other player, not just João Felix, but many other players have been offered to Arsenal, and they always wanted Mudryk as priority. So I think at the moment, the focus is on Mudryk. They are not speaking to other players in that position. Of course, they will have some plan B because it's normal for top clubs to move on other players, but the full priority is Mykhailo Mudryk, 100%.
Yeah, and just on a midfielder, obviously they've long been linked for new midfielders. Any chance to get one this month?
At the moment, it's low about the midfielder. The process is low. I think it could be like last summer when they moved in the final days of the window for midfielder. We had rumors on Tielemans for the whole window, and then at the end they tried for Douglas Luiz just in the final hours and days of the window. Because now their priority is on the attacking positions. We said about Mudryk, but of course they have to cover what happened to Gabriel Jesus. And then for the midfielder, it depends on the opportunity that they will have in the market. Let's say it will be Tielemans again. Let's see what happens also with other players. For the moment, we had many rumors also on Danilo of Palmeiras, but at the moment there is a negotiation with Nottingham Forest and with Monaco involved. So this is why for Arsenal at the moment, the real priority is the attacking players and not the midfielders.
Yeah, let's move on to Chelsea. Obviously, João Felix done now. Do you expect them to look for another attacker? Because they've been linked with Marcus Thuram and Madueke, aren't they?
I think it's possible. I think for Chelsea it's possible to move for one more striker. From what I'm told, also after closing the João Felix deal, they have been in contact with people close to Marcus Thuram, so they have not changed their stance. They appreciate the player, but also in this case, depends on the conditions of the deal. Thuram is available as free agent in the summer because he's 100% not going to extend the contract with Gladbach, and so many clubs are approaching him, not just from England, but also from Italy, like Inter, to sign him as free agent in the summer. What Chelsea are doing is to be informed on the situation with Gladbach in case they will open up to let him go in January, what kind of conditions, what the player wants to do, because he's available as a free agent and so he can pick his favorite club. So Chelsea are well informed on the situation. It could be one of the options. Madueke is appreciated, but it's not easy with PSV to negotiate after they sold Gakpo. And so at the moment, they don't need money after selling one of their stars. And so Madueke is appreciated, is one of many players they're following. We know they also had meetings for Mykhailo Mudryk because Mudryk is a player they really appreciate at Chelsea, but after they heard 100 millions and the player priority is Arsenal, for Chelsea, of course, the situation is different. And so let's see how it will evolve, but I would not be surprised if Chelsea bring in one more striker.
Yeah. Midfield is obviously the other area. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Romeo Lavia. Are these guys that could still come in this month?
For Lavia, I think it's going to be difficult because I think this link is from last summer. I was saying that during the deadline day, Chelsea made a really important bid for Romeo Lavia, so Tottenham decided to turn down that bid. But then Chelsea appointed Joe Shields, who's going to be starting from February, new co-head of recruitment director at Chelsea. And so this is why I think this is kind of link we have because of Joe Shields. But at the moment, the situation is quiet on Romeo Lavia. For Enzo Fernandez, as of now, nothing has changed. Benfica were really unhappy with the situation after what happened with Chelsea. They turned down their bid of 85 million euros. And so at the moment, for Benfica, it's very clear. Chelsea have to go and pay 120 million immediately if they want Enzo Fernandez. Otherwise, no way to sign the player. And so at the moment, from Chelsea, there is still nothing new on this one. It's really gone quiet after last week talks. And Moises Caicedo is a player they really appreciate. Yes, Moises Caicedo is a player they have in the list. For Graham Potter, could be a perfect solution because he knows the player. So in January, it's important to have and to bring in players who can help the team immediately, who doesn't need a lot of time to adapt to the ideas of the manager. And so Caicedo is a player really appreciated. But we also know how tough it is to negotiate with Brighton in general. Imagine in January with a new coach like De Zerbi who wants to keep all the players. And so it's not an easy one, but it's true that he's one of the players in the list at Chelsea.
Yeah, is it interesting Pedro Porro as well?
Tottenham. For Pedro Porro, Tottenham is the club leading the race. For Chelsea, we have many links, but at the moment, I'm told the club is actively working to sign Pedro Porro. Is Tottenham. They had contacts with intermediaries. They had contacts with Sporting. They want 45 million euros, the payment of the full release clause. So not an easy one too. But for sure, Tottenham is the club working on Pedro Porro as of now. Let's see if Chelsea will jump into it. But as of now, it's Tottenham.
Yeah, Liverpool, Mateus Nunes. Do we think there's anything in that link?
Not for January, but I think it's something that could be for the summer. He's one of the players they really appreciate. He was already in Liverpool list before he joined Wolves. They have very good relationship with his agents. Also, I'm told the player had some guarantees of a top move in 2023 or 2024 if he joined Wolves. So this is why Liverpool have always been around this player. And they really appreciate him. So I would not be surprised if they decide to bring him in the summer. We know the top priority for Liverpool is Jude Bellingham, but Real Madrid and Man City are also there. So the race is absolutely open and nothing will be decided in few hours or days for Bellingham. It takes time. And so Mateus Nunes is one of the players they have in the list for sure.
Yeah. Newcastle being linked with Moukoko at Dortmund. Do you think there's much in that one? And would other Premier League clubs like Chelsea and Man United get involved too if Newcastle do make a move?
It's very open, the situation, because many Premier League clubs are following Moukoko, not just Chelsea, not just Newcastle. For Man United at the moment, there is nothing. But the real point is that in the last few days, Borussia Dortmund are pushing to extend the contract of Moukoko. They had new conversation with his agents. They are trying to convince the player and to find a way to make him happy and to extend his contract. The manager, Edin Terzic, has a great relationship with Moukoko, and so he's trying to tempt the player with these new deal negotiations. So at the moment, I would not be surprised if at the end Moukoko extend his contract with Dortmund. But it's true, the Premier League clubs are exploring the situation. Newcastle are informed, but I'm told that at the moment there is still no bid on the table or no negotiation with Dortmund yet.
Yeah, quick word on Everton as well. Jordan Pickford's contract situation. What's the sort of latest there? And do you see him being a summer target for Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham?
I would not be surprised, honestly, because at the moment there is still no agreement with Everton to extend the contract. What I'm told is that Everton want to try again in the second part of the season to extend his contract, to give him what he wants. So Everton will try to push again for Pickford to extend the contract. But it's true that all these clubs are following Pickford. It's a big opportunity, potential big opportunity on the market. Chelsea have to decide who is the goalkeeper they want to trust for present and future. And so the conversations with Mendy on new contract are ongoing, but at the moment, nothing is agreed. For Man United, they are speaking to David De Gea to extend his contract on different terms. And so this is why I think De Gea is the real priority for Man United. Tottenham have to decide with Lloris, because Lloris is not super young. And so this is why they are exploring options around Europe. And Pickford is one of many goalkeepers appreciated.
Yeah, let's finish on Aston Villa. Their search for a winger. Where are we with that one? And are they sort of with Everton in the race for Dan Juma?
Yes, for Danjuma, there are many clubs interested. I'm told Everton is really it's true that Everton are pushing, but also Nottingham Forest are among clubs exploring this move. Unai Emery knows the player so well, and so could be an option also for Aston Villa. I'm told that there is a chance for him to leave in January. So all these clubs are speaking to Villarreal. Everton is the most concrete now, but not the only one. So I think Aston Villa will be busy. They signed Alex Moreno. He's almost done for 13 million euros. They are also speaking to people close to Matteo Guendouzi from Olympique Marseille, but Olympique Marseille are still waiting for Aston Villa to make an official bid. So at the moment, they tell me that they have not received any official bid yet. Let's wait for Aston Villa to move. But I think they will be busy in the second part of January, yes.
Yeah, just quickly, if I can, Weston McKennie and Aston Villa, is there anything in that one?
At the moment, from what I'm told, they just had the call. It was 2 weeks ago to explore the conditions of the deal with people close to the player, but they never contacted Juventus, for example, to make a proposal, to negotiate. So at the moment was just a call, nothing else as of now.
Cool.